Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Banished yet again in Kindersburg. When we left off, we had just built the quarry. The quarry had just gone up, and everything was looking pretty decent. Apparently one house is hungry for some reason, even though we constantly have a stockpile of food right next to them, and even then had food. Apparently other houses who are far greedier are stealing it. There we go, they've got the food in there. Good. So, when we left off, we'd just made the quarry and the schoolhouse was coming up. The schoolhouse is now up and we do have 4 students, which means 4 people who are not becoming adults just yet. If we ever do need the labourers, we can always sacrifice them, which sounds very odd. We can always remove them and put them into work, and I think that's actually what we're going to do just for now. Because I want more fishermen. In fact, I want fishermen, full stop. So we're now going to have 4 fishermen, our food stock's going to go even higher, and the reason is we're trying to improve our population size. We're building a new house, a mine is coming down. I've literally just placed it and realised I really should have waited to record, but there we go. So the mine has been placed. It's a lovely version of the quarry, and of course what it does is it provides iron. It digs out iron from the core of the earth and provides it to us. There are people who are cold and people who are hungry. Now the cold bit we can get away with because it's late winter. The hungry bit, on the other hand, is somewhat of an issue. I don't actually know what's causing this because I wasn't having issues until I started recording, and I'm afraid a teacher has just died of starvation. So 1 less stonecutter, 1 more teacher. This is a huge problem. I don't know what's actually causing it. That's very odd. The reason why people are cold is because I turned off the woodcutter to get some more people into the quarry. So I think I'll do now is turn some quarries off, put the woodcutter back on, and now we have the fishermen. That should hopefully help out the food issue. We do have 4 fishermen still. Yep, we still have 4 fishermen, so there is going to be a constant supply of food. In fact, yet one of the people who were starving has just become sated again. This house keeps on struggling though, which is kind of odd, honestly. So that's a bit of a weird one, but it's okay. Our tailor has finished using up all the leather, so we'll put the tailor into a fisherman. Oh wait, that's 4. Oh, of course we're going to use 4. For some reason I thought we could use 8. So we have a spare labourer who can, well, honestly, there's not much we really need. Wood's good, stone's good, food's going to be okay now. Perhaps we should increase the amount of fish we are getting. You see, the main issue is, really, it's that we have very little land space, so I think water-based foods are going to be really useful, just because we can put them down in these little crappy streams, and they will actually function. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to add a new fisherman's hut, fisherman's dock over here, which will then be filled with glorious fishermen. Excellent. To get some more foods. Our tools are doing well, so is our fur, and apparently our food is just about stretching, and apparently it wasn't just then, which is kind of surprising. There will be some new children now, which is a little bit worrying, but it's okay. As I say, there's a new fishing dock coming down. We have stone cutters we can always change into fishermen if needed, and honestly, the stone we need is almost there. In fact, why do we even have a builder at the moment? We don't even need a builder. So the builder can go and be a stone cutter. We don't even need a labourer. Well, a labourer helps out in loads of little ways, moving goods around, like from the fishing dock into the food, into the storage barn and such, so I will leave 1 labourer. Okay, the woodcutter, once again, not needed. Juggling around citizens I found in this mode to be really helpful, like ridiculously so, so I think we're going to keep that as long as possible. Now the question is, where are we going to expand to? That is a big question for me, because I'm not... Moving across here is going to take a lot of effort, particularly with the wooden bridges and such, and I think we're going to need a market. It's... At the moment, I think a market's going to need, in fact, 2 of them. I'm thinking one over here, but that would cut into the forest too much. It's going to be a bit of a stretch at the moment to actually get the goods where they need to be. Okay, 1 more labourer will become a stonecutter. Sadly, we did lose someone recently off camera to a falling rock, because again we have uneducated labourers. Kids are becoming students, but again we can always just turn off the teacher at any moment and gain some of the students back into the workforce if needed, which I think it was, because, well, it seemed like we needed the food. Even if he's uneducated, which means they're getting less fish per time and they carry less each time they move, we just need the food. It's as simple as that. The food needs to keep flowing. Do we have leather again? Excellent. So our fur's going well. Our iron, of course, is a bit of an issue, but now I'm about to do it. We will get an endless supply of iron. Well, again, I say endless just because how long it lasts, and by the time it finishes, we're more than likely we'd have already made a new mine and had a much larger population to do so. So we have one builder. I'm imagining he's probably going to start to do the fishing dock first. Oh wait, no, the fishing dock's still in his resources. So he'll probably do the mine first then, since there are only two options. And is that the builder? Yep, you just hit a rock and walked off. Well done. That was, yep. Great building there. Great teamwork. Yeah, well done. Well done. So I think it's about time we start planning then our escape from this little area. As pretty as it is, because honestly this is a really pretty area, I really like it. Now I didn't do something last time. Check the map. Let's have a look exactly what is in this place. So we have this corner here, there's almost nothing. So there's the river we're currently attached to, and there's a huge lake here which I didn't even realise. There's the main river, and it's all over here is just almost, oh look at that valley would be awesome once we've got some crops. Yeah, there's very few places we can actually grow crops, which is a huge issue. Over here is one such place, so perhaps... Oops, there's a closed wrong thing. So perhaps I might consider getting a trading station first, so that we can possibly purchase... Oh no, but we wouldn't have enough to sell. We don't have any excess of anything. We really want excess of wood. Stop being hungry, there's food in the stockpile. You're just too lazy to get it. There we go. Stop being hungry. There's food available. Everyone else is getting it. Why aren't you getting it? Look how much food this house has. Oh, brilliant. The mine's already working. Okay, so... Yeah, but at the moment we still need the stone. That's the thing. We need the stone to build some more food-producing items. So what I'm thinking is we could... Well, I think another fishing dock. Just wait till the fishing dock's done first, which is actually coming up now. They've got enough resources, so now it's just a matter of it being built. I feel like this person's going to die of starvation. They've been hungry for far too long. Which is silly, because they work in the freaking fishing dock. In fact, they were just holding food. Again, this person who is hungry, I'm just going to point this out. This child, in fact, literally just grabbed food from here, walked it over to the storage barn, placed it, and ate nothing. Despite apparently being starving, and now several people have died of starvation because of this. That's a very odd concept. Thankfully, the new fishing dock's about to go up, so we are going to double our fish production at least. So we have something, and we do have 3 stone cutters. We can cull down to 2, and also won't need a builder. Oh my lord! People, you're so bad with your food management. We have enough food for the current population. I've proved it, and you're just being completely stupid. Isn't it? Is it done yet? Good. Good, stone cutters. Prepare to become fishermen. There we go. Single builder, fisherman, single fisherman. I don't need a builder right now. What else do we need? We need firewood for the winter, so woodcutter. Okay, there we go. It's still a juggling act, and we're just trying to raise our population. Once the students become educated labourers. I'm sorry for that. A bit of a frog in my throat there. That's a horse in my throat. Ow. A bit of frog in my throat there. As soon as they become educated, everything will go better. More food per minute spent working, and they can carry more food. It's... why are you hungry? You really shouldn't be. A new child was born, so more food being eaten. Which is a huge thing. There's berries in there. Where'd the berries go? And again, who's eating all the food if it isn't these 2 houses who are starving? Someone else has died of starvation. We've lost a lot of people. I honestly can't say what's happened. A student has died? A child has died? What's happened? Why am I suddenly losing so many to starvation? We've only built 1 more house. There wasn't that much of a population boost. There's only 3 people. That is really bizarre, sir and friends. I am completely lost for the cause. You know, we're going to have to put the students back to work, and actually the teacher can go and bugger off. We simply need food, so everyone fishing now. I don't understand why the food has gone down when we have provided an ample amount of extra supply. More people just died. Stonecutter, labourer. Sorry, not stonecutter, labourer. I don't know what I've done wrong. Everyone who's left is in a food position or a woodcutter. I don't know what just went wrong then, honestly. I can't tell you what just happened, because I don't know. Woodcutter, be a teacher. We don't need a woodcutter right now. Well, now we have a backlog of food. Now so many people have died, because everyone else is... Well, we still have the same amount of it. I think the issue there was uneducation. I think it's a mixture of uneducation and the fact that fishing docks aren't that effective. They're certainly one of the least efficient early game food supplies. That and the fact we've kind of populated this area so much that the gatherer so it's less and less effective, along with the hunting cabin. I think... I don't really know, honestly. Food's looking okay now. There seems to be an excess most of the time, and then people grab it in bundles, but yeah, most houses are doing very well for food right now. Look at that, 83 loads again. Some children being born once more. I think it's a matter of we need the kids to become students, to become educated labourers, so that because we have such poor quality of land, I think we're going to need an extremely high quality of worker. Because, like I say, the quality of this land is dreadful. There's less herbs and such on the ground for general purposes. Our health isn't that great either, which is slowing down everyone. Neither of these are educated, so they're both working at subpar efficiencies. So yeah, basically every job currently... maybe it could be the loss of our original people, which were educated, has suddenly tipped us to being far less educated as a percentage, because X amount of people have suddenly died. And those X people were, as I said, educated. Well, we still have children then, we still have everything else. I think I may skip ahead here because not much is happening until something interesting happens. Either some students are made, something else happens in the village, because right now we're just kind of watching it recover. It wasn't a catastrophic loss. If anything, that actually did very little to our village. It did, other than decrease happiness by a lot, that didn't really do too much. It was essentially still the same as it was. The Starving Hills. So interesting. The cursed map. This is the cursed map. This is the cursed hill. So, back in a second when something else happens. Okay, we are back for some time now. I think I've got a theory, and it might be a theory that's actually incorrect, but it's a theory that's kind of looked correct in the time I had. Is that with the Foresters Lodge, I actually increased how many people were working there for some time, and this forest was very sparse. Now, I am aware elder trees do cause the forest to be different than newer trees. Younger trees are different than older trees. But generally, I've never heard of that affecting either the hunting cabin or the gatherer's hut. However, even though, of course, now we have less people, we have a lot of kids back, and our food is still growing very quickly. It could possibly be that the elder forests are simply more productive for both the gatherers and the hunting cabin, and by increasing our log yield, it was actually damaging them, so we were getting less and less and less food. Now that's recovered, we are getting the food back. Now that is a bit of a theory, but I'm not sure. Another reason is I noticed afterwards that the people hadn't moved yet. They do try and... people, a little bit of how the AI works. People will try and live in a house that's close to their job, and will actually swap places with people over time. It can happen, and sometimes it just doesn't happen because it's not possible, because there's no one willing to trade, as it were, to sell their house and go somewhere else. So with that, I noticed I had fishermen. I still do, but it's not so bad now, but because we have the fishing dock over here. But we had fishermen over here when the only dock was this, meaning they had to walk this entire distance to get to work, and then this entire distance back to eat or get warm or anything, which meant, well, it was probably the least efficient dock I've ever seen. Now people have moved down, and the fishermen are actually in this village. It's nowhere near as bad, and our food's gone up. It's almost 1,000 now. In fact, I'm now going to take away one fisherman to become a blacksmith for the time being, just because we are a bit low on tools and we don't want any less efficiency. Really, we've had enough of them low efficiencies. We don't have much iron, but we can deal with that once the schoolhouse starts spewing out kids. starts spewing out educated labourers. I'm guessing you aren't educated? Nope, which means you're going to be really inefficient when it comes to making tools, but that's fine. We don't need too many. We've only got 13 adults now, which is actually really scarily low. I'm surprised this village is actually working. But it is, and that's the important thing. So there's not much else to say really, other than I think it could have been the Forester's Lodge, and I may consider moving that, like making a very big effort in perhaps getting it down here to have this little plateau to himself. It's not as big, but oh god, actually we put a gatherer's hut here. Oh, if we put a little bridge there, that'll make such a good gatherer's hut position. Never mind, I think I'll do the opposite. I think I'll put the gatherer's hut down here instead. We currently don't have a builder or any labourers, so this won't really get done, but I'm just going to place it as like an idea. Ooh, really? Really? You got a bridge there? I thought that was honestly fairly straight, but apparently it wasn't. There we go. So we'll have a bridge there eventually. It won't take much stone, we'll just take a bit of wood. Our reserve of firewood is low. Actually is. Forester can become a woodcutter for the time being. Allow the forest to grow a little bit, because we do have a lot of wood currently. Blacksmith, have you done enough? Not really, we've got 8 tools still. As soon as we get to double figures, yeah, there we go. Yeah, now double figures, blacksmith, you can actually go as a labourer and start setting all this up. So essentially the idea is, because these two areas are connected, if we put down a gatherer's hut, 'cause it's not very big, we could have a gatherer's hut and just maximise how many people work there to about 2. And that wouldn't be too bad. Of course, like I say, we could have a forester here, and that probably would actually be the better idea, because it would actually increase how much forest is here, because right now it's quite small. Now I've said that, I think that would be the best idea. Yeah, have the forester down here, and this way it won't affect the forest up here. Which would mean we could change that forester into a herbalist to increase the health of our people, which is a huge benefit. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. My plans. There we go, put it there. A single labourer will get that done over time. Okay, labourer, where do I want you to go? We're going to have a spare labourer. Do I want him to do anything? Just want him to ferry down stuff to these? I think so, yeah. Wait, that needs how much stone? 12. This needs 6. We don't actually have enough stone in our stocks at the moment. I didn't place it on stone either, so it's not going to be taken out. So I am actually going to need a stone cutter soon. Well, we don't need any more firewood, so you can become a stone cutter for now. Now, see, I think that may have been the issue as well, me swapping jobs. Like I say, because people aren't moving, it means it's really ineffective. So you can stay as a forester for now, I think. Or do you want to be a builder? Or just another labourer? You can be another labourer for now. What I could do is remove resources, remove stone, and try and get the stone up from here. Because otherwise what's going to happen is the stone's going to be in the way of the trees, the forester becomes less efficient, and there's no real use for it. Woodcutter, forest lodge, okay. That seems reasonable. In fact, any of them down there doing it yet? Yep, there you go. One of them is clearing stuff for the Forester's Lodge. Really need those students to become labourers. Not only does that mean we have 2 more positions we can fill, it also means, much more importantly, 2 more educated people, which is a huge benefit considering we have so few people right now. So back in a second once all this is kind of cleared out, and perhaps we actually get to work with the wooden bridge and such. In fact, I'm actually going to make 1 builder because all this is about to be finished. So back in a second with progress. Okay, we are back. The Forester's Lodge is just about to be completed, and several of our students have become adults, which means right now we have some educated labourers helping out clearing this place up. Finally, it's finished. So we are going to... Actually, we do need some stuff right now, so let's quickly put on a woodcutter, because we are about to run out of firewood, which is very bad for late autumn coming into winter, but we also have this over here. So what we're doing is we're moving a woodcutter over here in addition to a wooden house. So what we're going to do is essentially make a little mini village here for woodcutters and the ilk, so that they don't have to run all the way there, although they're going to have to run quite some distance to get to their food supply, which is very annoying. It's just what's going to have to happen for now, since we can't really put a market anywhere to kind of have a centralised hub of everything, which is a little bit annoying, but just how it's going to be for now. Our food stocks are through the roof, so we can definitely afford the new houses, and of course, like I say, the new labourers are educated, which means no matter what job we put them in, they're going to be doing it a lot better than their previous selves. Yay, the Forest Lodge is ready. 1. Okay, there we go. So that Forester's Lodge is going to start. I definitely want at least one person in there at all times at the moment, just to start planting trees. I'll probably try and get more in there as time goes on, and that means really it's time we get rid of this one over here. So we'll actually demolish this because we have a builder. Also, it means we actually get the resources back, so we get some stone and some wood, which is really good, and also spares up some space for the forest. The forest will naturally grow into the place we leave. Forests will naturally do that, thankfully, even without the forester. So that will eventually become more place just for, as we can see, herbs, potatoes, all that good stuff to respawn, and thus feed the gatherers hut. Which seems to be doing very well suddenly, so I do think it did have something to do with how we were managing the trees there, or not managed them as the issue may have been. So I think, it's a good time to leave it now. I want to do quite a few videos on this in the recent future, and may I say thank you so much everyone who commented that you wanted to see more in the first episode of this. It's really nice to see people looking forward to the series coming back, as it was quite a small series in the past, but I really do love this game and I would have been playing it anyway, so really it's no hassle to me. Just really happy you enjoy it. Thank you for watching, and of course, comments, likes, favourite, shares, all that good stuff helps out on this channel, on this video as well. Makes me feel like I'm doing a series that you are certainly going to enjoy, and motivates me to do more, as well as putting a smile on my face and helping out the channel. So thank you, goodbye, and we just got a new labourer. Goodbye.